Ha guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Warriors trade pitch lands Zion Williamson. Could the Warriors provide a new lease of life to Zion Williamson? The Pelican star, severely affected by injuries in his young career, is said to be available in trades ahead of the February 6th trade deadline. In light of those reports, ESPN's Bobby Marks floated the idea of a Warriors trade involving Williamson. Warriors would receive Zion Williamson, Pelicans would receive Andrew Wiggins, Brandon Podmski, Kevin Looney. Marks explained why it's a low-risk move for the Warriors, since they would only be parting with one core piece in Podmski and two expiring contracts in Wiggins and Looney for Golden State. If you don't have to give up too much and you're looking for that potential all-star on a low-risk, Marks said. Now Zion is interesting here just because he is injured right now and we don't know when he is coming back. For him to be on the court, that's how you can get the most value for him, either in a trade or with the Pelicans. I've always circled Golden State, who would be certainly the team there for Zion. Is Zion worth the risk? Even as Williamson's career has been marred by injuries, a lot of analysts and former players have questioned his off-the-court routines and work ethic. On the November 27th episode of his Nightcap podcast, NFL legend Shannon Sharpe said he had heard within NBA circles that Williamson lacked the discipline to thrive in the league. Everybody wants Zion to have discipline except Zion. Sharpe said, so how can I want something? How can the team want something more for him than he wants it for himself? That's why they put it in his contract. Look how they got it in his contract, that he has to wait clauses, because they know him. It's not the team's fault. That's got nothing to do with New Orleans. That's Zion and his no discipline exploitive. That's all that comes down to Sharpe's point. There are severe restrictions in the 5-year $197 million contract Williamson signed in 2022 for one. His 2024-25 salary is partially guaranteed, and the next 3 seasons 2025-26, 2026-27 and 2027-28 are all non-guaranteed. Marks' proposed Warriors trade would mean the departure of Podziemski, a player previously considered a core piece of the franchise. As is well documented, the Warriors hesitated to part with Podziemski in deals involving Lauri Markkanen and Paul George over the summer. However, Pod's game regressed severely in the 2024-25 season, with his points 9.2 to 7.7, rebounds 5.8 to 4.6 and assists 3.7 to 3.4, all seeing dips from his rookie campaign. As such, the Warriors potentially no longer view him as an untouchable asset in trade talks. Pod's future in a Warriors uniform only grew murkier after the franchise acquired Dennis Schroeder from the Nets on December 15th, the very first day more than half the league became trade eligible. However, Warriors GM Mike Dunleavy Jr. believes the addition of Schroeder stands to benefit Pod. Brandon was really good last year, and I think part of it was having Steph and Chris Paul, two other handlers, alongside him, and so I think this move enables Brandon and Steph to always be on the court with another handler, whether it's the two of them or Dennis and Brandon or Dennis and Steph. Dunleavy told reporters on December 16th via NBC Sports Bay Area Warriors Dennis Schroeder reveals Suns' adorable reaction to trade. The Golden State Warriors made a preemptive move even before the loosening of trade restrictions on December 15th, swinging a deal with the Brooklyn Nets for Dennis Schroeder by utilizing the into Anthony Melton and his expiring contract in the trade. Schroeder is expected to give the Warriors an additional scoring punch while providing some additional grit as well, while defending the point of attack, something they've been missing since Melton's season-ending injury. And it doesn't seem as though it's only the Warriors that are joyous in the aftermath of their trade for Schroeder. Schroeder's firstborn son Dennis Jr., who will be turning 6 years of age in February, was so happy with this turn of events as he can now witness his father play for a good team again while lining up in the backcourt alongside one of the greatest to ever do it in Stephen Curry. The funniest thing was when my wife told him that we got traded and he asked, "Where are you going?" We said Golden State. He was like, "Oh, we're lucky now, it's a good team at least," Schroeder shared in his press conference by EA95. 7 The game on X, formerly known as Twitter, that was the first thing and I had to laugh and I was in a bad mood. He's of course a Steph Curry fan. Dennis Jr.'s excitement has gotten to the point where he's very giddy to know how practice with Curry and the Warriors went, hilariously overlooking his father in the process. He watches every game, all he does is basketball, and he's going to be thrilled to see him. Even yesterday when I came in he was like, "Was Steph Curry there?" I was like, "You're not going to ask me how I'm doing." Schroeder added Schroeder's son need not wait long for him to make his Warriors debut, as barring a late turn of events he should suit up for the Dubs in their Thursday night contest against the Memphis Grizzlies. The Warriors may not run plenty of pick and rolls, but they still welcome the addition of Dennis Schroeder, who is more of a traditional point guard. Stephen Curry and Steve Kerr have raved constantly about Schroeder and what he'll be bringing to the table. It can help me, it can help us. What helps me helps us, Curry said earlier this week. "I told Dennis today that he's kicked my asterisk on 3 different continents watching him in FBA that last 2 summers. He's a gamer, he's a competitor, pick and roll player, two-way player." Kerr added star forward's huge performance has fans calling for blockbuster Warriors trade. The Golden State Warriors have already executed one mid-season trade, acquiring Dennis Schroeder from the Brooklyn Nets in a trade that became official on Sunday, but as has been the case since their pursuits of Paul George and Lauri Markkanen, and during the off-season the Warriors remain on the hunt for another star player who could provide greater support to Stephen Curry. The latest starter have been strongly linked to the Warriors is Jimmy Butler, with ESPN Shams Chanai reporting last week that the Miami Heat forward is open to a move to the Bay along with the Dallas Mavericks, Houston Rockets and Phoenix Suns. Butler isn't new to having his name in trade speculation, and it apparently has no impact on his play, as the veteran forward delivered an astonishing performance for the Heat against the Detroit Pistons on Monday. Butler produced a huge 35 points, 19 rebounds and 10 assists in an overtime thriller, playing over 44 minutes where he shot 12 of 21 from the floor. Unfortunately for he and the Heat, the last of those, a missed layup in the last 10 seconds, succumbed Miami to a 125-124 defeat in a game where Cade Cunningham also had a 20-point, 11-rebound, 18-assist triple-double. The 35-year-old was a +11 in the 1-point loss, having also recorded 4 steals in a season-best performance. It certainly drew the attention of plenty on social media, many of which were quick to be calling for the Warriors to trade for Butler. The 14-year veteran is now averaging 19.4 points for the season, and while that doesn't completely jump off the page as Golden State's search for another offensive star Monday was a reminder that no one on the current Warrior roster outside Curry is capable of such performances. Butler's $48.859 $8 million salary is still a major stumbling block to orchestrating a deal with any trade, likely to include the Warriors sending out at least 4 players. 2 of those would presumably be Andrew Wiggins and Jonathan Kuminga, both of who have averaged in excess of 20 points over the last 5 games. Wiggins had a team-high 29 points in Golden State's 143-133 loss to the Dallas Mavericks on Sunday. Butler wasn't the only potential Warrior trade target to deliver a notable performance on Monday, with Chicago BLL center Nikola Jokic going for 24 points, 5 rebounds and 3 assists in his team's 122-121 victory over the Toronto Raptors. And you fan, what do you think of the situation of Jimmy Butler? Leave your opinion in the comments.